Hey guys, Ramblin' Man Moto and Drone here. You'll see I'm on my Super Chief Limited. And hey, I have to admit that I'm now having to relearn this clutch and throttle reaction on this bike, which is different than my other one. And I haven't been on this bike except once or twice maybe since the day after Christmas, because I've been riding my other bike that I bought the day after Christmas. I just dropped off my Springfield for the little project that I couldn't finish. Not too happy about that. I don't know if I'm going to post that in this same video or a separate video. You know, when you're pulling out into traffic and you're kind of relearning the clutch, it doesn't feel too good. I probably have this clutch set improperly. I think it's grabbing really early. So when I'm pulling out into traffic, a little nervous I was going to stall. I did a few in my driveway, stop and start, stop and start, start and stop, rather. And I don't plan to be out long, but I was all suited up in my gear from when I took the bike. Thought I'd do a quick ride. One more thing I'm reminded of when I'm on this bike compared to the Springfield is that I'm not a huge fan of the seat I bought from Ultimate. This seat I'm sitting on this bike is a Corbin, and I definitely feel like I'm sitting in the seat, feeling really good with it, sitting kind of nice and low. And you know, that Ultimate seat still has me feeling like I'm sitting up above the bike. I'm sitting on the bike. Let's see, this first gear is probably too low. And you know, on this bike I can touch both of my full feet down all the way, which I used to be able to do on the Springfield, but now with the Ultimate seat I'm sitting up higher. And eventually I may end up, I wish I had just went ahead and returned that Ultimate. Everyone told me how plush and comfortable it was, so I wanted to give it a shot. And it is soft, and my bum doesn't hurt me. But man, I don't like sitting up higher. When I get on this bike, it feels like I wanted my Indian to feel. And I like the Corbin seats. They're just a lot more expensive than the Ultimate. And now, of course, I've got an Ultimate seat that no one may end up buying, and I'd have to figure out how to ship it. You also had to swap out some of their hardware to replace the stock Indian, and I'd have to kind of, like a motorcycle up there, I'd kind of have to look up and remind myself which parts and what happened to my old original hardware. I've not done a good consistent job of marking the names of what hardware I've put away and kept and what it went to. I wish Corbin would let you return seats or have some way to give you a trial, because they cost so much money. And then if you get it and you don't like it, you know, it's a real hassle. And then I've got to figure out if I'm going to sell the Ultimate, how to finding a buyer for that. And shipping is a bear. It just costs a lot to ship, especially something that awkward in that shape. and I just spent a lot of money on it. So I'm trying to just get used to it. But I have to say, overall, that's a purchase I regret. There's always the chance the Corbin seat doesn't sit you exactly the way you want either. I can't remember, but I think the Corbin seat, had I ordered it the way I would have wanted, was almost double the price of the Ultimate, and the Ultimate wasn't cheap. I may be remembering wrong, but it wasn't the same. If it was the same, I think I would have just stuck with Corbin. Now, Ultimate was cheaper, still expensive, but cheaper, and also had that 30 or 60 day return. They may even let me return it now if I reached out to them. Honestly, I'm seriously considering it. I'm just don't like it, but I've kept it well beyond their stated return period. But I'm considering it. It can't hurt to ask. Then I gotta, decide if I'm willing to pay the additional difference to buy a Corbin. I think because of how long I'd like to keep that Springfield, it would be worth it to me to buy a seat that makes me feel the way I want it to feel. I wish I could quickly swap back to stock and remind myself what stock felt like and make sure I recall correctly. But my recollection was I was sitting down deep on the bike and both feet hitting, and now it's my balls of my feet are hitting, but I can't get my heels down, and I definitely feel like I sit on the bike. It's been a long day, to be honest, and spent way more time on that bolt than I wanted to. And I bet the guy's gonna... Oh, by the way, when I dropped that bike off, the guy confirmed for me that he had a tough time when he did that light project for me, getting that all lined up. He said it was just, barely move it and it's not lined up again. Now I'm reminded also on this bike how bad the shocks are compared to the shocks on the Springfield. The shocks on the Springfield are much better. Damn, the tree's down. I think maybe the shocks on the Springfield are a lot better than the ones on this bike. It's one of the things on the Springfield definitely stands out are the shocks. Shocks on this bike are kind of uncomfortable. I think my exhaust is louder on this bike. I kind of prefer the sound of the other one. I'm liking this one's a little more nimble, lighter. It's looking very nice out tonight. As I think we're just approaching sunset. Well, it's a pretty cool view. I bet it looks good out at Lake Anna right now. The sun sets right on the lake, where if you're parked in the right spot, it's just beautiful views. Alright guys, I'm going to work my way back home. Thanks for watching Ram the Man Moto and Drone.